Hey, how's everybody there at home doing? I'm going to do some video casts for you, and I'm always going to include kind of a personal note, and I'm going to include an historical note. And for here, this first week of our online teaching is a personal note. Some of you might know I have a dog. Her name is Annie. Nomen mihi est Annie. And I thought we would review some body parts as you're taking a look at my dog. So first of all, of course, she's a canis, a dog like the Cave Canem mosaic from ancient Rome. In addition, some of the different parts. We have an auris, an ear, and this is her bonus auris, her good ear, because she also has an auris over here, but as you can see, it's an auris languidus. It's a droopy ear. For whatever reason, Annie always has one ear going a little bit down, and that's her unique characteristic. She's got some oculi. She, of course, has a nasus, a nose. The whole thing here is a caput, her head. She's covered, of course, in coma. Remember, that gives us the Latin word comet, the hairy thing that's up in the heavens. We also have a crus, her leg. And even though technically this is a paw, we'll use the English word here for foot. That's a pace. And remember, that gives us all the different derivatives like pedal and pedestrian. So, yes, this is my dog, Annie. Yes, this whole thing here is her os, her face. And remember, the derivatives there have an OR in them, like an oral report, or when the dentist does oral hygiene in addition to looking at your teeth. So, that's my personal note. Last week, this is my historical note, was the Ides of March. The Ides of March were March 15th, 44 BC, 44 years before the birth of Christ. It was called the Ides of March because every single Roman month in the middle had a day called the Ides. Most months, the day was on the 13th. It just so happens that on the 15th of March, it was the Ides of March. It was one of the months where it was on the 15th. And it just so happened that was the particular day where 23 senators formed a conspiracy to kill the dictator who was Julius Caesar. This is an ancient Roman coin which commemorates the assassination of Julius Caesar. It was done by one of the conspirators. This is Ides. It's spelled a little bit different because spelling was not uniform in ancient times. Sometimes they spelled words a little bit differently. But it's the Ides of March. This cap here is called a pileus. It's a freedom cap. And of course, on each side are the daggers, the swords that were used to kill him. And these are gladii. A gladius is a sword. According to our best source, Suetonius, a Roman historian, Julius Caesar's last words were in Greek. Kai su teknon, which means even you, friend. But most of you know, because I'd mentioned it in class, that William Shakespeare has him say in the tragedy called Julius Caesar, et tu, Brute? Even you, Brutus? So our best primary source has him saying in Greek, kai su teknon, even though the more famous line comes from 1400 years later with William Shakespeare. Here's a cartoon about the Ides of March where some of the conspirators are arguing about who is going to stab him first. The main conspirators were Brutus, Cassius, and Casca. Casca was the one who ended up stabbing Julius Caesar first. Here is a close-up of a famous painting done about the assassination of Julius Caesar, where here's Julius Caesar. Most people think this is his best friend Brutus, who's getting ready to stab him, and that's when he's saying either Et tu, Brute, William Shakespeare, or our best source, Kai su teknon. Okay, so there's our first lesson with a little bit of personal information and a little bit of historical information. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm leaning forward to turn it off now.